In this video, tignan po natin yung mga trending stocks tulad ng BPI, ng GTCAP, at ng PLDT. Are you guys ready? Let's go! Alright, so let's start off with Ayala Land, no? Now, tong Ayala Land, incidentally, I was just discussing this with my students the other day, na the more prudent thing to do would be to wait for a break nitong 33 pesos before looking for potential entries. The reasoning was, hindi pa kasi nabibreak yung structure niya eh. Diba? Nag-form tayo ng parang swing high dito, tapos we just collapsed eh, diba? Now, pullbacks are normal kasi nagkaroon tayo ng very inefficient move to the downside eh. So, from there, tumama tayo dito sa white zone na in-identify natin prior that could be an area of interest, tapos nag-bounce. Unfortunately, hindi to nag-set up in a way na gusto ko, no? Para na-trade ko sana yung bounce. Okay? Yes, the white zone reacted well, but I wasn't given the entry that I wanted to be able to capitalize on it. Now, that's just the way it works sometimes. Planadong-planado mo lahat, pero despite all of that, hindi susunod sa plano, hindi susunod sa gusto mo, and then before you know it, wala na, hindi mo na siya na-trade. And that's what happened to me in this particular instance, no? So dahil nga nangyari yun, I was saying na, okay, the next time I want to see this or to consider this is kapag nag-trade tayo above nitong 33.2. Unfortunately, hindi siya nangyari, no? Instead, nauntog tayo dito at nag-form tayo ng resistance at 32.2 and then we just collapse from there. And in this collapse, binasag na natin tong white zone. We actually closed beneath tong 26.5 na support, no? Now, ano yung mga pwede nating i-anticipate na scenarios from here? One scenario is we could pull back perhaps into this white zone. Maglaro siya sandali dyan, and then we break down further, no? If that happens, what we're looking at is 23 pesos yung next support, followed by 21.85, followed by 19.45. Okay? Another thing that could happen kung mangyari man yon is baka matrap muna yung price within this range between 23 to 26, no? Tapos from there, dun niya i-make up yung mind niya kung ano balak niya gawing moving forward. Baka mag-break up tayo to the upside, magkaroon tayo ng some type of reversal, baka mag-break down further at matamaan yung mga supports that we just identified. That remains to be seen. Now, if you are bullish nitong Ayala Land, I would argue na the earliest na pwede nating masabi na meron tayong reversal in structure based on the current predicament, okay, is kailangan number 1, ma-take out tong 32.2 to 33 pa rin. Yan pa rin yung main na hadlang mo. Pero, baka magkaroon tayo ng very brief na bounce play or very brief window to trade a range kung ma-take out natin tong maliit na high na to at 28.45. If we can take that out, then baka bumalik yung price within this range here between 28.45 hanggang 32.2. Diba? Hindi ko tinanggal yung 29.3 because of that reason. Kasi nga baka bumalik tayo doon. So kung mangyari man yon, mabasag to, maybe we can look for a break here, come back, see if it holds, then perhaps try to trade this range. Okay, pero syempre, it's still too early to tell. Depende pa lahat yan kung ano itsura ng structure kung sakali man mangyari yon. But for now, obviously, very bearish tignan yung chart. So unless meron kayong inaabangan na value area moving forward, baka maganda, iwas-iwas muna tayo dito. Now, for GMA7, there have been no real changes since we last looked at this, no? Ang sabi ko nga nun, I would prefer to see na mag-consolidate tayo dito for a little while prior to seeing any type of breakout para matrade natin siya. Now, medyo na-fake out yung ibang tao dito, diba? We tried to fill yung gap, bumitin, tas bumalik lang tayo kaagad within this range here. So, in play pa rin yung hinahanap-hanap ko na mag-consume muna tayo ng sandali, then we can assess from there what we want to do next. If we can see a break to the upside, lalo na if that upside break can close above 12.62, maybe we can look for a pullback, pabalik sa high na to, and see if we can trade that higher papuntang 13.82 or 15.14 or even filling this unfilled gap here, no? Tignan na lang natin kung ano itsura niya kung sakali mang mangyari yon. However, if from here hindi mag-hold yung consolidation natin, hindi mag-hold tong range na to, at mabasag natin tong 11.5 0.6 altogether, or lagay na lang natin sa 11 pesos para mas malinis. If we break 11, then odds are we come back and fill this range here between 10 to 11 pesos, which isn't such a bad range kasi mga 10% din yun di ba? Tapos kung mabasag yung 10, the next level of support we'll be looking at is 9.3. Bakit 9.3? Kasi siya yung nag-hold na previous high dito prior to price breaking out. And when we came back here, we didn't exactly tag itong previous resistance na ine-expect natin na pwedeng mag-act as support, no? So, kung mabasag tayo to the downside, yan yung mga level of support sa tinitignan natin. However, for me, the overall plan and approach haven't changed. Yun pa rin. I want to see a longer consolidation, then a break to the upside from there, then we'll assess kung paano tayo pwedeng pumasok, depende kung ano yung itsura ng structure by then. Next, tignan natin yung BPI. Now, yung BPI, nag-break tayo today beneath yung support na 90.5. Okay, so we are now currently trading within this range here from 85.5 papuntang 90.5. Now, it wouldn't surprise me kung kunwari in the next day or so or perhaps in the next week ay ma-revisit natin yung support at 85.5 na whether or not that holds remains to be seen, no? Syempre, hindi naman po natin hawak yung market and sino ba naman tayo para magsabi na kailangan niyang gawin yung gusto natin. If it holds, baka maging tradable range nga po to from 85.5 to 90. But if it doesn't, then babalik tayo sa range dito sa baba. Yung range natin sa baba will be from 85.5 na resistance level all the way down dito sa area na to between 78 to 79.75. Now, I'm considering this as an area kasi kung titignan natin, parang ang daming mga cluster of lows dito diba? Ilang beses nangyari yan So rather than try to force my will on the market na hindi kailangan 78, I would rather be a bit more flexible and look at this in terms of an area. Now, kung mag-hold nga tayo dito, then I think as a range trade from etong 78 nga or 79.75 pabalik nitong 85.5, it would be a lot more appealing than trying to trade the range dito sa 85.5 to 90. Diba? Syempre kasi mas malaki ng konti yung nilalaro nating range, meaning mas malaki rin yung room for error natin at mas malaki yung potential gains. Diba? That goes hand in hand naman. However, regardless of which range you want to trade, we do need to understand na marami ng chop na nangyari dito before. So whichever range trade you might decide to take, it might not be an easy trade simply because it has been an area of previous chop. Alright? Now, ang bullish scenario dito naman is not just reclaiming itong 90 pesos na area, although doing so might take us back to this range here between 90 hanggang 98, no? But again, sobrang choppy na dito. It's not gonna be an easy trade. Para sa akin, para maging bullish ulit, kailangan mabasag na natin tong 98.85 or 99 pesos na area. If we do so, I think we revisit tong double top na iniwan natin sa taas around 104. Okay, but until then, I am either assuming na bearish tong BPI or it will be trading in segmented ranges moving forward, so I'm gonna need to act accordingly. Next, pag-usapan po natin yung TEL. Now, itong TEL, we were talking about this before. Nag-form siya ng 52-week high dito, di ba? Pero sabi nga natin na nauntog siya sa supply zone. Di ba? Supply zone meaning may area of consolidation dito prior, so hindi nakakagulat kung makahanap tayo ng selling pressure as those na mga naipit before try and get out, no? Now, after that, bumaba tayo. Essentially, nag-form tayo ng range dito. And today, binasag natin yung support na yon at 1758. Diba? Now, what can we expect moving forward? Maaaring balikan natin to, makahanap tayo ng resistance, then we roll over. If we do so, then I think yung next na natural magnet ng price will be this support here between 1545 to 1585. If mag-hold yan, then baka mabigyan tayo ng opportunity to trade this range here, no? Yung from 1585 to 1758. But syempre, that remains to be seen. Depende kung anong klaseng structure yung mag-form between now and then. Kasi maaaring maraming untog na ma-form along the way. However, kung hindi naman to mag-hold, let's say mabasag tong area na to altogether, I think at bare minimum, mababalikan natin tong 1465. Diba? Tas whether or not we react from there remains to be seen, no? Now, wag na muna nating i-discuss yung mga ibang levels pa to the downside kasi syempre, medyo malayo pa naman tayo doon eh. Diba? Para hindi rin confusing. But for now, again, unless meron kayong inaabangan na very specific value area dito sa TEL, whether it's for a fundamental or a technical reason, wag muna nating madaling i-trade. Let's wait for things to play out before jumping back in. And then finally, tignan po natin yung GTCAP, no? Now, for the longest time, GTCAP was trading within this range here. From 495 papuntang 603. Meron tayong mga konting overshoots along the way, diba? Tulad nito. But essentially, we were trading within that decent range, no? Now, nag-breakdown tayo, not just from yung 495, pero even from yung support at 470 today. Albeit barely, no? Nag-close tayo at 468. Medyo lumaban siya ng huli. Now, what can we assess from here? Number one, yung next levels of support natin to the downside will be 453.6 followed by 412. However, even if magkaroon tayo ng reaction dito sa 453.6, baka hindi siya ganun ka-appealing i-trade kasi may untog kagad tayo dito around 470. Diba? So, parang ang liit lang nung area na pwedeng i-trade. So, it might not be worth it from a risk-reward perspective, no? Now, kung hinahanap naman natin maging bullish to ulit, number one, at the very least, kailangan ma-reclaim niya ulit tong 495. Kasi nga, as we said, for the longest time, we were trading within this range here. Now, for me, hindi pa enough yun. Diba? You could consider trading 495 papuntang 552. That's a decent area. But para sa akin, it's not exactly a high probability trade just because ang dami na ring untog na nag-form dito along the way, no? Para sa akin, mas bullish siya and magiging mas appealing i-trade yung range if we can come back and take out tong 552. Bakit? Kasi taking that out opens up this range above between 552 to 603 wherein, yes, meron din mga harang pero the way na naglalaro yung price dito, mas konti, kung baga, yung pwedeng pag-untugan compared dito na ang dami talagang naging harang along the way. Diba? So, it would be more appealing for me personally to trade the range up here than to trade the range down here, even though from a percentage gain perspective, mas maliit yung pwede kong kitain. However, I think it would offer a better risk reward. Pero syempre lahat to speculative lang, no? Hindi naman natin alam, number one, if price will get back up there, and number two, if and when it does, ano itsura ng structure? Maaaring yung itsura niya hindi rin maging appealing para sa akin. Okay? Now, kung sabihin natin hindi nag-hold yung mga supports altogether, then price might come back and revisit tong mga lows na nag-form dito, and kung pati yon mabasag pa rin, we might come back and revisit yung pandemic low right here. So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!